Hello my friends all over the world, wherever you are. William Poloniak here at Gannett Hall Health Foundation. And today I'm going to make some apple juice again with Granny Smith apples and a very small amount of ginger. The last time I made apple juice with more ginger than I'm using today, it tasted almost like medicine. Still good, still nutritious, but taste is very important. So today I'm using only 40 grams of ginger and about 6 Granny Smith apples. The first step is to cut the apples into manageable pieces. The first step, of course, is to cut my apples into manageable pieces, but I want to remind you I'm putting only 40 grams of ginger and a very, very small amount of turmeric in with my apples. So we'll cut this into quarters. Now there's the last of my apples, and the next step is to make the pulp and then fold it into juicing cloths using a bamboo liner to make sure that the pulp does not stick to my cloth. Now I want to point out that I'm using the near zero blowback cutter that has about 80 teeth cut into these 5 blades. And this near zero blowback cutter not only eliminates blowback, but it shreds produce 4 degrees cooler. And I'm going to collect the pulp in wide mouth jars. And you notice how I can fit the collection jar under because of the leg height kit. The next step is to shred all of the apples using the front-loading feed tube. And I want to remind you, even though this is a nearly zero blowback feed tube and cutter, you always want to keep this covered just in case. Plug in my thermometer. Idea when you're doing greens or fruit to push the pusher down only halfway until the very end. Now before I finish my apples, I'm going to clean the grid. Reassemble and continue. Here's my favorite feature of the front-loading feed tube. You can see in here, and I can see that my apple pulp is shred pretty well, but not as good as I would like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour some pulp in here and force that last bit of apple pulp through that has some skins that are not quite shredded. This front-loading feed tube is probably, next to the thermometer, the best innovation that I've ever come up with. Okay, now to fold it into cloths. Let's set this aside. Now the first thing I'm going to do is line my cloths with the bamboo liner. The bamboo liner prevents pulp from sticking to the cloth. And I think the first thing I'll do is clean my feed tube into this cloth. then take the pulp, unplug the thermometer. We'll take the pulp from the feed tube and put it into our first cloth. Okay, I'm going to put about half of this. Ooh, that's way too much. I'm going to put about half of that container in there. And then we'll fold the bamboo over. I guess I can get a little more in there. Now for best pressure, I'm going to press 2 cloths full of pulp at one time. And I remind you, you can reuse these bamboo liners during the same session, but in this case, we're going to get a new bamboo liner for the second cloth right now. And remember, never hit from the top because you're going to force pulp to go up. You want to hit on the side and down. Fold the bamboo over. Then the cloth over the bamboo. Next, the juice tray, a collection container, and 2 cloths of apple pulp with ginger and turmeric into the press. Centered left to right, centered front to back, all the way back, back it off a little bit. And might as well pour this in. And we'll advance that all the way. Now with the Whole Health Foundation premium model with this solid bottom plate, you can leave this up indefinitely, but we have another container of apple pulp. So we'll stop the juicer and fold more cloths. Now, as I said, you can reuse these bamboo liners during the same session. And they're very, very strong. If they do burst, it'll be at the corners. And we'll put about half of this on here. Fold the bamboo over. Fold the cloth over the bamboo. As tight a package as you can make it. Set that aside. And then into the press. And now into the press. Very important to be centered left to right. Centered front to back, adjust it if need be, all the way back, back it off a little bit. And remember, with the Whole Health Foundation premium model, you can leave the press up indefinitely. Now what I'm going to do next is repackage this spent pulp. I'm going to use a measuring beaker to see how much more juice we can get using a Whole Health Foundation premium model juicer. So what I'll do is I'll form this into a tight package, and this time, watch my folding technique. I'm going to fold this under 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 times, and this is going to minimize slippage. And we'll do that in both directions. Find that, set it aside. Do the same thing in this cloth. Take the spent pulp, and look what a nice job that did. No pulp sticking to the cloth at all. These bamboo liners were invented by a friend of mine in Canada, and they are an absolutely wonderful improvement. And they're 100% organic. No glue, no dioxins, no food coloring. Especially if you have cancer, you want a pure product. So let's see how much more juice we can get using a Whole Health Foundation premium model juicer. Now, right in the center. All the way back it off a little bit. Now I could leave that up as long as I want, indefinitely. As long as you have a steady stream. There we go, we have droplets, so that's time to stop. So we have a little more than 4 more ounces. We'll dump that into here, and we'll put it into bottles. Now we'll put these into bottles. Now usually I like to mix my apple juice 50-50 with water, but I'm going to fill these full to the top. Well, my friends, here we have apple juice, Granny Smith apples, with 40 grams of ginger to about 6 Granny Smith apples, and a tiny bit of turmeric. Let's give it a taste. Oh, it's delicious. Just enough ginger. Maybe next time a little bit less ginger. For me, 40 grams is perfect, but some people that would be too much. So I think next time I make apple juice with ginger, I might try only 20 grams and compare the difference. Well, I hope you like what you've seen, my friends, and if you do, please tell a friend. If you'd like to call me, my phone number is 760-753-0321. My email address is developtrust@cox.net, and my webpage is wholehealthfound.com. I'll see you in the next video. Oh, that's delicious.